I have had like I've had, sometimes when it rains it pours, and I've had some really rough times where just everything happens at once, especially with my finances. I have not recovered from the last time it happened, which was about 3 years ago, where I lost some income and we had gotten into some debt, and I had no way of paying it. And I held out, as long as I could. I mean, you find ways around it, like finding a no interest transfer credit card, and that's what I did at the time to stay afloat. And but then when I moved here, my car broke down like a good 5 times between before and after I moved here. And with the move, and you're staying at hotels, you're renting the trucks, you're paying for all that gas and the food, and paying rent for the first time. When usually they don't give you as much salary because you don't pay rent, but even the extra salary they gave wasn't really covering it all. So it just got it's been I've had a hard time recovering. And then I'm trying to get this insurance. It's a government insurance, so it's low cost. I mean, you still have to pay, but it's low cost. I was devastated. I got a phone call that I got denied. And I believe it's because they didn't really get all the records. My son, fought really hard. My son can barely stay awake for 2 hours. My son is losing his hair from the meds and from his anxiety. He's up all night because his brain won't shut down. He just has, the meds only keep him stable for a certain amount of time. Then you have to, go through the whole process of finding meds that work for him. When we first moved here, he had to go to the mental health emergency room until I could find a way, to get him on insurance. And so we hire a lawyer. We're told that hiring a lawyer is a much, much better bet of him winning. And he has his day in court, and it looked good. It looked good. And we still got a letter saying that it's a 10-page letter, and if I'm reading it right, he was denied. The basis for which he was denied was he's not taking enough meds. He takes at least 3 different meds, and it's constantly changing. He's never been to the emergency room. He's been to the emergency room 3 times. So I'm like, what the heck? The lawyer didn't do his job. I'm not allowed to represent him. They won't let me represent him. I would show all the proof. So I'm thinking, did the lawyer not do his job? I thought that was the whole point of hiring a lawyer. Thank goodness you don't have to pay the lawyer if you lose. But, lawyers can get away with asking for expenses, and then they get ridiculous and try to ask for phenomenal prices, like $10 for a stamp. Stupid stuff like that. $300 to mail out a letter. It's ridiculous. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Because I felt if the lawyer was doing his job, then why is this denial based on that? All this new information, they had all the information from North Carolina, but we have been here for a year and a half, and they've got all the new information, the emergency room visits, the med changes. Like I said, right now he's under a county care, thank God, that, you still have to pay a little bit, but it's not a lot, thank God, because the meds are like $1,000 a month. And it honestly, I wouldn't be able to deal with him. He's impossible to live with without the meds. He's got bipolar with anxiety and depression. Without those meds, he would wind up in a mental institution or in jail, because somebody probably, get into a fight with somebody or something, and because you're just incoherent, you're just irrational when you're off your meds, and he'll wind up probably in jail or in a mental institution without those meds. And yet he got denied. So I got denied, he got denied, coupled with Obamacare. Now, I thought that Obamacare was going to be like Europe and Canada, where yes, it's a trade-off. They're going to take more money out of your check, but you can go to the doctor without worry. You don't have to worry about copays. You don't have to worry about premiums. You don't have to worry about deductibles. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. But this is from what I understand from different people I've spoken to in Europe and Canada. This is what we were expecting from Obamacare. Now, some people were saying how bad it was, and then when you talk about it, there goes the political debate, and I'm not going to get into that with anyone. Oh, that's just Republican, bullcrap, right? And Okay. But then my husband had to have a meeting on his job, and they confirmed that if he doesn't take the job's insurance, he's going to have to pay. It starts at $100, and I wasn't sure if it was a month or a year. I think it was confirmed that it was a year. $100 a year in fees if he did not take their insurance. And that they told him on his job that Obamacare is outrageous. And so people are still telling me, oh, you don't know, go to the website, being defensive of Obama. Okay, so he gets a letter from his job saying, you have until a certain date to do this. And this was 2 weeks ago. It's all hit me all at once. You have until a certain day to do this, or we will not be able to put you on the insurance, and you're going to be forced to take Obamacare. So my husband, everything, and I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear no BS from nobody because of this. All the crap they're saying about it is true. The website is glitching. It glitches like crazy. So what they did was they added phone support. Because my husband he kept getting kicked out. He kept getting all these problems. He kept, getting all these errors. Okay, so we did the phone support. And the phone support confirmed. We thought it was going to be $100 a year if you don't take insurance. She said it's a minimum of $100. It could be up to 10% of your pay. I was like, oh crap. Even then, it's probably going to be cheaper. But I need medical care. So he goes and he looks into, after the lady helped him out and gets him through it. It starts at about $450 a month with an 11,000. I didn't say 1,100. I said 11,000 deductible. Now, one woman said hers was something like $600 a month plus 14,000. And everybody said, oh, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. She's not lying. Just so you know. $11,000 deductible. It starts at $450 a month, and it's only a 60% coverage. So you still have almost half of your medical care. I don't see how that is affordable. And I don't see how our government turned into a dictatorship that they're forcing this on us. The poor people already can get Medicaid. You have to be in the street to get Medicaid. Or according to Medicaid, be a foreigner. They'll give temporary Medicaid to a foreigner, but not to their own. So I'm not talking out of my butt. I'm not talking from hearsay. I'm talking from experience, from information I have gone through this past year. So this is the past week. So my husband's looking it up. And the only way you can get, I think it was 90% of your care covered is if you pay a really, really high, premium. And I don't remember what the deductible was for that. And then, something about the prescriptions weren't covered. I'm not even sure. So we were just looking at whether they want to take out a month and the premiums and the deductible. 11,000? How is that affordable? Unbelievable. And only 60% they're paying for? And yet they're taking out, $450 a month. That was the lowest one. Unbelievable. So now we are forced to have insurance. I mean, it is way cheaper to just let them take the fee out. But I need medical care. So, we were forced to do that. So, come January 1st, our paycheck is going to be significantly smaller. And so, our finances are already in a mess because of all the moving and everything. I managed to pay off 2 credit cards for anyone who wants to talk stupid to me. Those were the ones with no interest. And I managed to pay those off. Thank God. But the ones with the interest, I can't keep up with. So I don't know what's gonna happen in January. I was crying. I don't want to start crying now, but I feel like our government has let us down. I feel like our government is becoming a dictatorship. I was just crying and crying for my son, and I just had to say, well, at least, if he would have been able to get disability. Really, for me, the most important thing was to ensure that he could get his meds. That if he decided to move, to any state. All you had to do was transfer the information. And that's what I wanted, was some sort of security for him to know he's going to get his meds, as opposed to, well, this is, privately funded, this is county funded, and we're going to have to let you go. Which is what they were starting to do in North Carolina, remove the services little by little. And then at first they weren't charging, and then they started charging and all this crap. So, here, that's all I wanted for him. Now, the good news was that he was on a waiting list for free care. And honestly, the low-cost county care, I mean, I'm the one paying for it, because he's no way he can keep a job in his condition. But, I'm thinking I might rather just pay that low cost rather than get the free one, because one of the things bad about county care is the service is not that great. When you go to pick up the prescriptions, you always have a headache. And at least with disability, I could take Medicaid to anywhere. With free, it's probably going to be worse. He got accepted to that, so that was a little bit of consolation. So we're going to try that out and see how that works. Something tells me I have to stick to the county care rather than the free care. And I think the free care is privately funded. He got accepted into that because there's no way he can get a job. I mean, what gets me mad is the day of his court. Of course, disability was there defending themselves, and they said he can get a job folding laundry. First of all, I never heard of that. They say he can't do any hard labor. The only person who folds the laundry is the one who washes the clothes. That is hard labor. Are they out of their minds? That was the only job they said they suggested he get. This is why it really looked good for my son. So I really don't know what was based on the information of these 10 pages that I tried to make sense of, I only understood, all I was trying to find out was what was the decision. And that was the little bit I could understand, was it was based on fallacies. Are they ignoring the facts, or did the lawyer not give them the new information from the past year and a half? So of course, I called the lawyer, and of course he hasn't called me back. So it says I can do an appeal, but I still would have to hire a different lawyer. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But at least in the meantime, he's covered under the low cost. He starts the free sometime this month. And, at least I have that. But if he would have been accepted, I know he can't get a job. If he would have at least got accepted for disability, that would have made up for the loss in my husband's check. So I honestly don't know what's going to happen in January. I have curbed my spending so much. I used to buy high-end makeup. Now I've gone down to low end, and I'm starting to think that, I'm probably not, basically what I'm saying is there's going to be a lot of changes for next year. I probably won't be doing these videos because I don't think I'm going to be able to afford to pay my bills, much less do this. So things might drastically change next year in my videos, because there's going to be a huge drastic change in the finances. So I was just crying for hours. On top of that, I was sick all last week. I had to babysit my brother's nieces, so I am exhausted. Because he, according to the court, already had them for Thanksgiving, but he couldn't get off that week. So, I had to take them, and I offered because, I want to spend time with my nieces now that, he's separated from his wife. I don't really get to see them that often. So I told him, if you can't take them, I'll take them. At least I'll have, some time with them. That was a bit of a emotional stress as well, because they're young and I was sick. I have had the hardest 2 weeks. And I don't think I've ever been this scared in my life of what's going to happen in this country, with the finances, with the government, as they failed us, I'm sorry to say. I don't know what 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 to say. I don't know Anybody writes to me giving me crap, I will find a way to, I will definitely do Cookie Deuce at 555 if I can't block people. I'm not going to put up with people's crap because I've heard it for the past couple of months that everybody's lying. Obamacare is wonderful. Yeah, maybe they could say that because maybe they have good paying jobs that they can afford insurance. Or maybe they're saying that because they're on welfare and Medicaid. But those of us in the middle, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have been failed. I just don't understand how Congress allowed Obama to get away with being a dictator and forcing us to pay high premiums, high deductibles, and or we'll get fined. That's dictatorship. That's not freedom. That's not freedom. So, we were let down. We were expecting to not have to worry about all that. We're expecting that, yes, we might see less money in our paycheck, but at least I don't have to worry about paying premiums, paying deductibles, paying co-pays. At least I would have been able to go to the doctor. So with these, in my husband's job, the premium was the same, but at least it was a lower deductible and a lower copay. So, and I need my medication for my diabetes. So, I'm really, really frustrated, and and now I've got to go through all of these fill out some forms. I got to fill out all these forms so they could choose how much of a premium they're gonna charge, because it goes between, I think, $300 and $500, and and then we're forced to get exams done, which some they pay, some they don't. So I honestly don't know what's gonna happen for us next year, for us in the middle. And I'm just trying to enjoy this last month of having some cash on me, having some money on me. We had to buy a new Christmas tree. Thank God we found one on sale at Target, a pretty one for $50. It has the lights on it. I hate dealing with lights, and it's not the optical one we had before, but it was affordable and it's pretty, and I bought all my Christmas presents. I don't really buy a lot because of finances, but this year I bought a little bit of extra, and I just feel it's going to be my last year to enjoy any type of, what little tiny bit of financial flexibility I had. So I just want to try and enjoy it. On top of that, that's another thing. On top of that, my Netflix, my DVD player broke down. It's a Blu-ray 3D player. That's one of the things that got us in trouble 3 years ago. I fought with my husband over that, and it broke down. And thank God we were still under the extended warranty. So I'm without my Blu-ray player for 2 weeks, they told me. On top of that, it was done through Best Buy. I hate Best Buy. Best Buy is like one of the worst. They lie to you just to get your money, and then they leave you hanging. I could write you a whole page, 2-3 pages of what I've been through at Best Buy, and I wanted to stay away from them. And my husband, did that sale, and let's see if they're gonna fix, honor their warranty, because they were trying to say that if they break it, they're not responsible. They wanted me to sign a bunch of waivers, and that one, instead of data erases or blah blah blah, I don't care because I'm under warranty and I don't have any data on there. But that one, if you break it, I can't hold you responsible. I told them, that's not. I crossed that one out of the 10 things that they put on there. So now that makes me not trust what they're gonna try and do, because our extended warranty is over in about a month and a half, and I'm afraid they might drag it out and then say to us, oh, we're not responsible anymore. So I'm telling you, this past 2 weeks have been extremely rough on me, emotionally and, physically. Some people will tell me that they think I got sick because I'm just so stressed out over everything. So, I just don't know what's going to be in the future for my son. I just don't know what's going to be in the future for my family or for me. and I worry about, my brother, and, I worry, just, I worry about my daughter who's in New York. So just a lot of changes. And so I'm just trying to enjoy this last month, and, just before January comes and everything hits the fan. So okay, so that's it. And, you know, hopefully y'all can find the new Wet and Wild stuff. And, like I said, all the new Revlon stuff is out, and everybody's bringing out their new stuff for January, starting, it's all coming out now. So be on the lookout for that. And next week I want to do a Christmas look. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a glittery, red and green glitter with neutral, or just red and green with the brown. But I want to make it bold yet still be, wearable type of thing, for some people who don't like to be so bold. So I will see you, next week. Hopefully this will be on my All for One for All channel. And if not, I'll put the link to my Cookie Dulce 555 channel. Okay, so if you guys want to communicate with me, the message is still working on YouTube. You can message me at All Things Makeup on Facebook. I started a blog, but I'm not really doing anything with it right now. But so you got your All Things Makeup on Facebook that you can communicate with me. My name is on there. And you can message me on Facebook. I have that open to anyone. I have my YouTube open to everyone if you need to talk to me. But unfortunately, I can't speak to you because Google Plus doesn't like me. So, all right. All right. I will see you next week. Mwah. Bye.